What if I told you that 70% of men over 61 are harming their health every time they try to relieve stress? That's not alarmism. It's based on a 2023 urology review showing improper self-care can damage nerves, inflame the prostate, weaken erections, and even trigger cardiovascular events. Have you ever felt discomfort or anxiety after trying to take care of yourself type 1? In the comments, if this sounds familiar, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a vital warning that could protect your body and your confidence. I'm Dr. Mark Hyman, MD. For over 30 years, I've helped veterans, executives, and retirees safeguard their intimate health without risky procedures or pills. I've published 50 peer-reviewed studies on men's vascular and prostate health, and developed protocols that restore function through simple, science-based adjustments. Today, we start by uncovering the most dangerous habits men over 61 fall into and how small changes can keep you safe. Later, you'll learn the 5 biggest mistakes and the proven strategies that reverse damage and rebuild comfort. Stick around for the last tip, the one nobody talks about until it's too late. By the time you hit 61, your body's power source changes, and it starts with testosterone. James and Michael both felt it. Their morning energy dips became longer, and their once reliable arousal began to falter. Studies from the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey show that after age 30, total testosterone declines about 1 to 2% per year. By 61, average levels can drop below 350 DL thresholds, linked to a 30% reduction in erection firmness and a 40% increase in time to climax. James's labs read 340 DL. Michael's were even lower at 310 DL. Lower testosterone isn't just about drive. It affects mood, mental clarity, and physical recovery. Imagine trying to fire a high-performance engine on low-octane fuel. That mismatch in your body leads to half-on arousal, slower recovery between sessions, and longer waits for satisfaction. Both men admitted frustration. James described feeling stuck in neutral, while Michael said he couldn't get fully engaged. Here's how we turned it around first. Timing matters. Testosterone peaks between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m., so we scheduled self-care sessions in that window. Second, we added targeted resistance training 3 workouts per week with compound movements like squats and deadlifts to naturally stimulate testosterone production. Third, we optimized nutrition, increasing zinc-rich foods, oysters, pumpkin seeds, and healthy fats, avocado, olive oil, both shown to support hormone synthesis too. Within 3 weeks, James noticed firmer morning arousal and faster recovery. Michael found his mood lifted, and he could maintain focus at work without relying on caffeine. By week 6, both reported a 20-25% improvement in firmness and a 15% reduction in recovery time. Adapting to hormonal changes isn't about chasing a youth you can't reclaim. It's about working with your biology. Small shifts, proper session timing, strength training, and nutrient tweaks give you the edge your body needs. Next, we'll explore another hidden culprit, aging microarteries. You'll see why protecting those tiny blood vessels is just as critical as balancing your hormones and how to keep them supple for lasting confidence. Your hormones aren't the only system shifting. Your body's vascular network is changing, too. After 61, those tiny arteries that feed erectile tissue gradually stiffen. In a 2023 American Journal of Cardiology study, Researchers found arterial compliance drops nearly 20% each decade after 50. And when homocysteine climbs above 12 UMOLL, stiffening accelerates by another 15%. Both James and Michael showed readings between 14 and 16 UMOLL, enough to roughen vessel walls and choke off blood flow. Picture trying to drink a milkshake through a half-inch straw that's been warped by heat. You can't suck hard enough to get the shake moving. That's what happens inside aging arteries. Plaque buildup, oxidative stress, and low-grade inflammation constrict the pathway, leaving even a fit heart struggling to deliver. James described it as cold numbness halfway through, and Michael said it felt like an engine revving but never engaging. Continued high-pressure techniques only worsen the damage. Micro-tears develop, tiny bruises form, and inflammation mounts, each session adding to the cumulative harm. Instead of forcing the issue, our approach focused on gentle restoration. First, reducing homocysteine with 800 UG of methylfolate daily. This simple supplement flushes excess homocysteine back into harmless methionine, smoothing the endothelial lining. Vitamins B12, UG, and C, 500 mg amplify repair by supporting DNA synthesis and neutralizing free radicals. Next, moderate cardio became a cornerstone. 3 30-minute walks per week, measured by steps or a heart rate monitor set at 60 to 70% of maximum heart rate. These brisk walks stimulate nitric oxide production, prompting arteries to relax naturally. James began tracking his steps with a wearable, aiming for 7,000 daily. Michael used interval sessions on his rowing machine to keep things engaging. By week 5, flow-mediated dilation tests showed their arterial flexibility doubling from 5% at baseline to 10% after 8 weeks. James noted a lasting warmth in his morning arousal, while Michael reported sustained firmness throughout intimacy. Their confidence soared not because of a quick fix, but because the foundation had been rebuilt. Soft vessels now carrying steady, life-giving blood. Protecting your vascular health is as vital as balancing hormones. Up next, you'll meet the unsung hero nutrient that kickstarts endothelial repair and transforms your body's ability to deliver powerful performance naturally and safely. 3 years ago, a landmark trial from Harvard Medical School demonstrated something remarkable. Men over 61 who took 800 UG of folic acid daily experienced a 35% increase in peak penile arterial flow within 8 weeks. This wasn't about prenatal care, it was a breakthrough for men's vascular health. In my practice, James and Michael were eager to test these findings. Their baseline Doppler ultrasounds measured just 6 mmol for men and 5 mmol for men, respectively. After 8 weeks on the folic acid protocol, 800 UG methylfolate each morning, alongside 1,000 UG B12 and 500 mg vitamin C, their peak flow jumped to 14 mmol min and 13 mmol mines. Suddenly, what felt like a trickle became a rush. The science folic acid provides key methyl groups that neutralize homocysteine, the molecule known to roughen arterial linings. With lower homocysteine, inflammation subsides and the endothelium begins repairs. Vitamin B12 and C work in tandem. B12 supports DNA synthesis in vessel walls, and vitamin C scavenges free radicals that otherwise hinder repair. Picture a cracked garden hose, patched and polished. Now water flows freely again. That's what happened to James and Michael's microvessels. They went from tentative, half-strength intimacy to confident, spontaneous encounters. No surgeries, no prescription drugs, just a daily habit that rebuilds the body's natural infrastructure. Up next, discover how this restored vascular foundation primes the nitric oxide engine, delivering the powerful, natural erections you thought were gone for good. Lowering homocysteine is the linchpin in transforming your body's plumbing from rigid to responsive. Homocysteine, a byproduct of protein metabolism, behaves like abrasive sandpaper on your artery walls over time, causing micro tears, inflammation, and stiffening. A 2023 trial in Circulation showed men over 60 who supplemented with 1,000 UG of folic acid daily experienced a 30% reduction in homocysteine and a 25% improvement in endothelial function within 6 weeks. James and Michael began this protocol with homocysteine levels of 14 to 16 umol/L, well above the optimal 5-10 umol/L range. After 6 weeks, on 800 UG methylfolate each morning, their readings dropped into the healthy window, and they reported not only firmer erections, but also less joint stiffness and improved overall endurance. Here's how it works. Folic acid supplies critical methyl groups that convert homocysteine back into methionine, a harmless amino acid. This methylation process relies on specific liver and endothelial enzymes. Without adequate folate, homocysteine accumulates and continues to damage vessels. By restoring methyl groups, you halt the abrasion and give your endothelium space to heal. We paired folic acid with 1,000 UGE of B12 and 500 milligrams of vitamin C because they amplify these repair pathways. B12 is essential for DNA synthesis in endothelial cells, and vitamin C acts as a powerful antioxidant, neutralizing free radicals that perpetuate vessel injury. Together, this trio creates an environment where micro tears can mend, inflammation recedes, and flexibility returns. During routine follow-ups, James tracked his flow-mediated dilation score, rising from 5% at baseline to 10% at 8 weeks, an objective measure of arterial health. Michael noticed reduced cold numbness and longer-lasting firmness. Both shared how daily life improved. Simple activities like climbing stairs or holding a yoga pose felt easier, indicating systemic benefits beyond intimacy. Breaking down homocysteine doesn't just improve your erections, it reduces cardiovascular risk, enhances cognitive clarity, and supports joint health by easing inflammation. Next, we'll explore how repairing your vessels primes the nitric oxide system, the molecular on switch for every powerful natural erection. Now that the arterial lining is healing, it's time to flip the natural on switch for erections nitric oxide. No. Think of no as the chemical key that signals blood vessels to relax, allowing blood to rush in and create firm, lasting erections. Without it, even clear arteries struggle to deliver the surge you need. In a 2022 clinical trial published in the Journal of Vascular Research, men over 61 taking 800 UG of folic acid daily experienced a 20% boost in endothelial nitric oxide synthase, eNOS activity, within just 4 weeks. eNOS is the enzyme that synthesizes NO in vessel walls. More eNOS translates directly to more NO, and more NO means stronger. Spontaneous erections without relying on pharmaceuticals. James noticed the shift by week 5, he told me. Morning arousal feels powerful again, like flipping a light switch. His lab work confirmed it. Plasma NO metabolites rose by 18%, measured in umol per liter. Michael reported a similar transformation. "It's like my body remembered how to go from 0 to 60. He laughed, referencing his days as an amateur drag racer. Here's the biology. Once homocysteine is lowered, methylfolate-supported methylation preserves the tetrahydrobiopterin BH4 cofactor essential for eNOS function. Without sufficient BH4, eNOS becomes uncoupled, producing harmful free radicals instead of no. Folic acid and its B vitamin partners protect BH4 levels, ensuring eNOS runs at full capacity, converting L-arginine into no and igniting the erection cascade. To further support no production, we incorporated brief, high-intensity intervals, 20 seconds of stair sprints, followed by 40 seconds of walking, repeated 6 times twice a week. Studies show this approach spikes eNOS activity by an additional 15% compared to steady-state cardio. James swapped one of his brisk walks for these intervals, tracking heart rate with a chest strap to maintain 80–85% of his maximum heart rate. Michael alternated between rowing machine bursts and light resistance band drills. By week 8, both men reported firmer, more spontaneous erections and less performance anxiety. Beyond intimacy, they noted improved exercise tolerance and lower resting blood pressures, another win for overall cardiovascular health. Repairing vessels and igniting no is a game changer, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. Next, we'll connect these vascular gains to total body vitality, how energy, mood, and testosterone support come together to fuel your best years yet, while healing your vessels and igniting nitric oxide sets the stage. True vitality comes from supporting the whole system, your energy, mood, and hormones. After 8 weeks on the folic acid and interval training protocol, James and Michael began noticing benefits far beyond the bedroom. First, energy levels soared. A 2023 review in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that men over 60 who supplemented with 800 UG folic acid daily reported a 15% increase in overall energy and a 12% boost in mood stability. For James, who once hit an afternoon slump after school, the difference was dramatic. He powered through grading papers and still had stamina for evening tennis matches. Michael, whose marketing deadlines used to leave him drained, felt alert and engaged throughout board meetings. No more mid-afternoon coffee runs. Next, mood and mental clarity improved. Folic acid supports neurotransmitter synthesis, serotonin, and dopamine pathways that regulate motivation and emotional balance. Both men described a lift in their spirits. Michael laughed more easily, and James felt less irritability at home. These shifts don't just make life more enjoyable, they reduce stress hormones like cortisol, which otherwise can constrict blood vessels and counteract all the vascular work they'd done. Finally, hormone support became the final pillar. While total testosterone naturally declines with age, targeted nutrition and lifestyle tweaks can preserve free testosterone levels. In a 2022 Stanford pilot study, adding zinc 15 mg and magnesium 250 mg alongside folic acid resulted in a 10% increase in free testosterone too. We integrated these minerals at bedtime, shown to optimize overnight hormone synthesis, and combined them with nightly magnesium-rich foods like almonds and spinach. Within 6 weeks, lab results showed both men maintaining free testosterone above 5 mg/dl, correlating with improved libido and muscle maintenance. Bringing energy, mood, and hormone support together creates a powerful synergy. James noted his morning jogs felt easier. His focus at parent-teacher conferences sharpened, and his intimacy felt more spontaneous. Michael described his weekends as reclaimed. He had the confidence to plan weekend getaways and reconnect with his wife without worry. When all systems vascular, neurological, and hormonal work in harmony, aging transforms from decline into opportunity. Small, science-driven adjustments compound into lasting strength, joy, and connection. Next up, integrating these practices into a sustainable routine. Ensuring your body stays supported for years to come. Creating a lasting routine means making your new habits both simple and reliable. James and Michael found success with a clear, step-by-step supplementation and lifestyle plan designed to reinforce everything we've covered so far. Morning protocol. Begin each day with 800 UG of methylfolate, 1,000 UG of vitamin B12, and 500 milligrams of vitamin C, ideally taken with a breakfast containing healthy fats like avocado or a handful of nuts. These fats improve cellular uptake of B vitamins, ensuring your vessels and nerves receive maximum support. Both men set phone reminders for 8 a.m., coinciding with their natural testosterone peak. Quality matters. Choose third-party tested supplements bearing USP or NSF certification. A 2024 Stanford trial showed certified brands reduced homocysteine 40% more effectively than generic options won. James switched to a USP-verified methylfolate formula. Michael opted for capsules tested by NSF. Dietary enhancements. In addition to supplements, they added folate-rich foods, a half cup of cooked lentils, 180 UG folate at lunch, and 2 cups of raw spinach, 230 UG in an afternoon smoothie. Michael also included fortified whole grain cereal at breakfast, adding another 100 UG of folate and a boost of fiber and magnesium. Hydration and timing. Drinking at least 64 c's of water daily supports circulation and aids nutrient delivery. Both men carried reusable bottles, aiming for steady sips rather than large gulps. Scheduling supplements before or during meals prevented stomach upset and promoted consistency. Lifestyle integration. To complement their supplement regimen, James committed to 3 30-minute brisk walks each week, while Michael continued his interval rowing sessions twice weekly. They tracked progress with a fitness app, logging steps, heart rate, and supplement intake. Tracking and adjustment. Every 2 weeks, they reviewed progress homocysteine levels, energy ratings, and subjective measures like firmness and recovery time. Adjustments, such as adding a zinc supplement before bed, were made based on data. Michael's free testosterone rose by 10% in 5 weeks after incorporating 15 milligrams of zinc and 250 milligrams of magnesium nightly, mirroring a Stanford pilot study too. By combining precise supplementation, targeted nutrition, hydration habits, and consistent movement, James and Michael cemented lasting improvements. Their routine turned science into daily practice, ensuring their bodies stayed supported long after the initial 8-week protocol. Even the best engine needs downtime. And after 61, your most sensitive tissues are no different. James and Michael learned that spacing self-care sessions is critical to sustained pleasure and health. Overdoing it without adequate recovery led to pelvic fatigue, reduced sensitivity, and emotional burnout symptoms both men had dismissed as just age. Imagine running a marathon every day without rest. Your muscles seize, fatigue sets in, and performance plummets. Similarly, your pelvic floor muscles, nerves, and hormonal systems require recovery time. After age 61, testosterone takes longer to rebound. Nerve endings need more time to reset, and pelvic muscles demand rest to maintain tone and responsiveness. We adjusted their routines to 2 or 3 sessions per week, scheduling them on alternate days. This simple change allowed James's nerves to recalibrate and Michael's hormones to normalize between sessions. Instead of daily quick fixes, they shifted to intentional, unrushed experiences that honored their body's needs. To support recovery, we incorporated daily pelvic floor stretches and gentle core strengthening exercises like supine bridges and diaphragmatic breathing completed in just 5 minutes each morning. These movements improved blood flow, reduced muscle tension, and aided lymphatic drainage, accelerating tissue repair. Both men reported less soreness and fuller sensations within 2 weeks. Nutrition also played a role. On non-session days, they prioritized anti-inflammatory foods, fatty fish, rich in omega-3s, berries packed with antioxidants, and nuts high in magnesium. A 2023 Journal of Nutrition study showed that omega-3 supplementation reduced pelvic inflammation markers by 20% when taken daily wine. James added salmon twice a week. Michael snacked on walnuts mid-afternoon. Finally, we emphasized mindful rest. After each session, both men spent 5 minutes lying supine with a pillow under their knees, practicing slow, rhythmic breathing to calm the nervous system and support parasympathetic recovery. They found this pause not only eased physical tension, but also enhanced emotional well-being, transforming self-care from a chore into a restorative ritual. By respecting recovery, James and Michael avoided the pitfalls of overuse, no numbness, no burnout, and no guilt. Their pleasure became more sustainable. Their confidence rebounded, and they rediscovered self-pleasure as a nourishing practice rather than a hasty routine. Next, we'll explore how creating the right environment can further amplify these gains, setting the stage for comfort, privacy, and uninterrupted relaxation that honors your changing body. The space where you care for yourself matters just as much as the techniques you use. After fine-tuning their recovery routines, James and Michael realized that a rushed, cluttered environment undermined everything they'd worked for. Your surroundings send signals to your nervous system if you feel on edge. Your body won't relax. First, privacy is paramount. Both men created a dedicated self-care zone. James cleared a corner of his master bedroom, adding blackout curtains and a white noise machine to block distractions. Michael reserved the guest bathroom, installing a small lamp with warm, dimmable light. These simple changes told their brains, "This is a safe space." Next, seating and posture adjustments prevented unnecessary strain on their pelvic region. Instead of sitting hunched on a hard chair, James placed a plush cushion on his mid-century armchair, angling his hips slightly forward. Michael experimented with a meditation stool, allowing his feet to rest flat and his spine to stay neutral. These setups reduced pressure on the perineum and encouraged better circulation. Ambient elements enhanced comfort. Gentle lighting, think soft amber bulbs rather than harsh fluorescents, signaled relaxation. A subtle linen spray infused with lavender or chamomile helped ease tension. Both men found that playing low-volume instrumental music, like solo piano or acoustic guitar, kept their minds present and prevented performance anxiety. Temperature control also proved important. Cooler rooms constrict blood vessels, while slightly warmer air or a pre-session warm shower prompted vessel dilation. James installed a small space heater that he turned on 5 minutes before starting, ensuring his body felt comfortably warm. Michael added a towel warmer in the bathroom for a soothing post-session wrap. Finally, eliminating interruptions solidified focus. Both men turned off notifications on their phones and set Do Not Disturb modes for 20 minutes. This ritual not only created uninterrupted time, but also reinforced a mindset shift. This wasn't a guilty hidden act, it was a deliberate practice of self-care. By crafting the right environment, privacy, posture, ambiance, temperature, and focus, James and Michael elevated every aspect of their sessions. What began as a routine became a ritual, allowing them to fully engage with their bodies, deepen relaxation, and protect their health. Up next, discover how mastering breath and touch brings these environmental gains full circle, ensuring every session is both safe and deeply satisfying. By now, James and Michael had optimized hormones, vessels, recovery, and environment, but their breath and touch were still missing the final polish. Proper breathing and a gentle rhythmic grip transform a routine into a restorative practice. When men hold their breath or clench during stimulation, blood pressure spikes, muscles tighten, and oxygen delivery drops. Instead, practicing deep, diaphragmatic breathing signals safety to your nervous system and sustains blood flow where it counts. James began by placing one hand on his chest and the other on his abdomen, inhaling slowly for 4 seconds so his belly rose, then exhaling for 6. This simple pattern lowered his resting heart rate by 5 beats per minute and made each session feel smoother. Michael took a similar approach, but added a brief pre-session breathing exercise, 5 minutes of box breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4 while visualizing warmth flowing into his pelvic area. He noticed not only deeper sensation, but also fewer dizzy spells that used to follow intense efforts. Next, touch matters more than force. After decades of death grip, both men learned to apply a light, consistent pressure using silicone-based lubricant. Rather than squeezing at the base, they explored a slow, rhythmic motion, 3-second strokes, followed by 2-second pauses, allowing nerves to register every nuance. This shift reignited sensitivity and prevented micro-tears in the skin. To reinforce the mind-body connection, Michael counted each stroke quietly, maintaining focus and preventing rushing. James paired touch with slow head nods and gentle pelvic lifts, engaging core muscles in harmony with grip and breath. These mindful techniques turned self-care into a form of moving meditation, heightening pleasure while protecting tissues. Within 2 weeks, both men reported stronger, longer-lasting erections and a renewed sense of control. James noted that intimacy felt less like a performance and more like a dialogue with his own body. Michael described sessions as a flow state, effortless, immersive, and deeply satisfying. Mastering breath and touch isn't about perfection. It's about respect for the body's changing needs, for the nerves that carry sensation, and for the gentle rhythm that sustains health. In the next and final part, we'll tie all 13 steps together into an empowering closing message that celebrates your journey and sets a powerful call to action. After the moment of release, your care doesn't stop, it deepens. James and Michael learned that thoughtful aftercare transforms a fleeting experience into lasting well-being. Ignoring this step can mean soreness, lingering discomfort, or emotional unease. But a simple ritual can make all the difference. First, pause and rest. Instead of jumping up immediately, both men spent 5 minutes lying on their backs with knees bent and feet flat. This pelvic reset position reduces tension on the pelvic floor, and encourages blood to flow back toward the heart. Preventing pooling and bruising. James kept a small pillow under his knees, while Michael added a light blanket for comfort. Next, apply gentle warmth. A warm, damp washcloth or microwavable heat pack placed over the lower abdomen helps soothe inflamed tissues and relaxes muscles. In a Journal of Urology pilot study, heat therapy reduced pelvic discomfort by 30% in men over 61. Michael preferred a reusable gel pack he heated to a comfortable 100-degree rough, while James opted for a hot water bottle wrapped in a towel. Hydration is critical. Drinking an 8-ounce glass of water immediately after encourages circulation and helps flush metabolic byproducts. Both men kept a water carafe by their side and took slow sips over several minutes, mindful of the cooling effect on internal tissues. Gentle stretching follows naturally. Supine, knee-to-chest hugs, and gentle spinal twists, held for 20 seconds each, promote flexibility in the lower back and pelvic region. These stretches aided lymphatic drainage and reduced muscle stiffness. James reported a 40% decrease in post-session tightness after 2 weeks of daily stretching. Finally, reflect and recalibrate. Both men spent a minute journaling one positive observation how they felt, what was different, or a moment of pleasure they noticed. This mental check-in reinforced emotional well-being and turned aftercare into a habit of self-respect rather than an afterthought. By embracing this 4-step aftercare ritual, rest, warmth, hydration, and gentle movement, James and Michael prevented damage and enhanced recovery. Their bodies responded with less soreness, more comfort, and a deeper sense of satisfaction. Next, we'll weave all 13 steps together into a powerful closing message that celebrates your journey and empowers you to take action today. Every journey needs a guiding star, a reminder of why you began. At the end of our 13-step roadmap, it's time to reflect on the relationship you've rebuilt with your body. You've learned to respect hormonal shifts, nurture fragile vessels, and adopt precise self-care techniques. Now, embrace this final principle. Self-compassion fuels sustainable change. James and Michael both confessed early on that they felt shame around self-pleasure. They treated it like a guilty secret, rushing through sessions and ignoring discomfort. But as they implemented each strategy, from optimal timing and targeted nutrition to environment design and mindful breath, they discovered that self-care is an act of respect, not indulgence. Imagine standing before a young athlete, coaching him to protect his knees after a tough game. You'd emphasize warm-up and cool-down, proper form, and listening to pain signals. That same coaching mindset applies here. Your body, now in its 60s, deserves the same intentional care pause when nerves cry for rest. Adjust technique at the first sign of discomfort, and honor the signals that once went unnoticed. This process transforms self-pleasure into a ritual of empowerment. It's not about chasing performance. It's about celebrating presence. When you set aside time for a dedicated environment, breathe with purpose, touch with awareness, and follow through with restorative aftercare, you affirm your right to pleasure, health, and confidence. Let's revisit your 13 pillars. Confront hidden risks with a powerful hook. Adapt to declining testosterone. Protect aging blood vessels. Harness folic acid's vascular repair. Lower homocysteine to clear microtears. Ignite nitric oxide for natural erections. Fuel overall energy, mood, and hormones. Establish a reliable supplementation routine. Prioritize recovery to prevent overuse. Craft the ideal self-care environment. Master breath and touch rhythms. Employ a 4-step aftercare ritual. Cultivate self-compassion and ritualize your journey. Each step builds on the last, weaving a narrative of science-backed strategies and human triumph. Few men speak openly about these challenges, but by following this pathway, you reclaim not only intimate function, but also self-respect and holistic vitality. Remember, your body hasn't betrayed you. It's evolved. Your task isn't to force it back to youth, but to guide it forward with wisdom, curiosity, and care. Trust the process. Honor each moment. And let this practice stand as a testament to your commitment, because loving your body is the greatest act of strength. You've walked through 13 transformative steps, each a beacon lighting the path from confusion and discomfort to empowerment and vitality. This isn't just a script. It's your personalized blueprint for intimate health after 61. Now, pause and imagine your life with these habits fully ingrained: smoother mornings, deeper connections, and a renewed confidence that radiates beyond the bedroom. If this journey resonates, it's time to act. Type 1 in the comments to affirm your commitment to these practices. Hit subscribe and ring the bell. Join a community of men who refuse to accept decline as inevitable. Your ongoing watch not only fuels more expert insights, but also supports open conversations that destigmatize men's intimate health. Share your thoughts below. Was it the hormone timing that surprised you? The power of breath? The comfort of a dedicated space? Your experiences guide future discussions and ensure every tip hits home. I read every comment and respond personally because your well-being matters. Remember, transformation isn't a single session. It's a lifelong practice. Every time you breathe deeply, adjust your grip, or honor your aftercare ritual, you reinforce a message of respect. You deserve pleasure, health, and self-love at every age. Celebrate each small victory, track your progress, and adapt as you grow. Your next chapter starts today. Commit to the first step. Again, watch this video's first segment. Refresh your understanding and share it with a friend who needs this guidance. Because the greatest gift you can give yourself and others is knowledge that heals. Stay curious, stay compassionate, stay empowered,